Hello and welcome to yet another replay of Commands and Colors Ancients. We will play Piraeus 403 BC, and this is the third and last scenario featuring the exiled Athenian leader Thrasybulus, who has been quite successful in his two earlier battles, fighting the Spartans and the 30 tyrants. So, the last battle we played, Minichia, the name Minichia is a hill outside of Piraeus. So, since this is called Piraeus, this is more or less the same battleground as last time, I believe at least, because I think that is Piraeus, and I'm not sure if this is depicting Minichia mountain or hill, or if there's some other big hill here. Maybe it is, between Piraeus and Sparta. Anyway, there is some hill here where the Athenian exile troops have taken into control for defense against the approaching Spartans here. So what has happened here? Well, after the exiles won the Battle of Minichia, they did not in my replay, but in history they did, there was chaos among the 30 tyrants in Athens. They actually fled the town or the city, and another government were installed, a more moderate one, and kind of better for the Athenians, but for some reason those guys didn't want to come in terms with Thrasybulus and his exile forces, so he was kind of rejected from that city. So he took control of Piraeus, so that's where he's stationed, and the temporary government in Athens asked for help from Sparta to get rid of those rebels. And so they did. So the Spartans did send up quite a large force here under Pausanias, who's including this scenario. And as you can see, they brought up loads of hoplites here from Sparta, and also we are seeing some lighter troops and cavalry here to get rid of the exiled rebels once and for all. But the Athenian exiles under Thrasybulus also had some. Well, they had their hoplites. They have. Well, these guys have been there all along, but now they also have quite a lot of lighter troops here. I think many volunteers joined their ranks, because I think this is the largest of the battles of Thrasybulus, and he also had gained some cavalry for this battle. And this kind of follows a pattern in some rebellions through history. Some rebels rise up, they overthrow some local garrison or something, and was very successful. People flock to them, and then maybe the opponent sends a big of a larger force to meet them and crush them, but they don't really take them seriously, and the power that is sent to eliminate those guys were not enough, and the rebels win again and gains more popularity, and more guys flock to them. But then comes a kind of a turning point when the government guys, or these guys, get enough. Okay, now it's time to crush them, and then they send a really big big force up here to crush them, and that's really when it's time to show what the troops are good for. And this is exactly that climax for Thrasybulus. So the Spartans sent up a really big force, and that's what we are seeing here, marching up against Thrasybulus. And historically, the Athenians didn't have a chance. There were simply too many of these guys, too heavy and too trained for the rebels to meet, and they got crushed more or less. But anyway, it was a kind of a good ending to the story, because after Pausanias won the battle, he wanted to get some peace between Thrasybulus and the temporary government in Athens. And so I think there was some they made some settlement about this, and the new, more democratic government was established. I think so, at least. I'm not really sure about that, but I know that there was some settlement between the leading guys in Athens and Thrasybulus exiles, because they have shown their force and their strong will to change the things that were in Athens right now. All right, so that's about that, and let's check the battle's war council notes. So we have 6 command cards for both players, actually, and in my game I will deal them 3 cards each. I think that's good, because they will have some kind of a good hand for both players. I want to get them 3 cards each. And then we fight till 6 banners. There's not much special rules here. We have the hoplites infantry rule, and we have the special Spartan 5 block units. That's it. We are though seeing some interesting terrain here. We see this hill. As I said, I'm not sure if this is Minichia or some other hill. And then we have these marsh hexes here, and those are, pretty dangerous if you march into them or evade through or retreat through them. You need to roll a die, and if you roll the same symbol as the unit that is going through, you need to remove 1 block. Same goes for leader. So if a lone leader goes there, you roll a die, and if you roll a leader symbol, those are gone. Otherwise, you need to stop there when you march into them, and I think it's 2 dice in and out in battle. Ranged battle out is only 1 die. So, but this is kind of outside the main happenings. I'm not sure if we will see any troops entering that hex. The other interesting terrain here is, which I think is the town or the harbor of Piraeus, which is up here. And these are also very restrictive. So to enter a building hex, you need to be adjacent. So you can't march in from 2 or more hexes away and go in there, only 1. Same if you march out. You can only march out to the adjacent hex. And mounted units cannot even enter those hexes. So very restrictive. You battle in and out, I think, with 2 dice, if I remember that correctly. We gotta check there if that happens. Even though mounted units cannot enter those hexes, they can battle into, but they cannot momentum advance or anything like that into those hexes. But I'm not sure we're gonna see anything there either, but who knows, maybe the battle will end up there. It's hard to say right now. Otherwise, well, not much to say about the terrain here, of course. It's mostly dominated by this hill in the center. And so, I think we're gonna take a quick look at the troops before we begin the battle. And let's see about the Athenian exile troops first. So we have Thrasybulus all the way back there. close by to Piraeus, and then we have his hoplite line there. So they have just started marching out from the city, and they are a bit away from where we're gonna see the initial action. Then we have the front line of the Athenian exiles, which is pretty much only light troops. So we have on both flanks actually some light cavalry, as you can see, and otherwise we have light here, we have more lights. Oh, sorry, that was actually a slinger unit there. It's a slinger in the far right hand side of the Athenians. Then we have the lights, and then we have some auxiliaries, and note that there are two leaders, unnamed leaders attached to those auxiliaries there. Then we have some lights again, and mirroring the other edge we have a slinger unit there, and as I said, that cavalry way out there. So that's what I got. Not too impressive, but they have some good defensive ground here, so even if heavier troops attacks them, they can only still battle, you know, with 3 dice up there on the hills and only 2 upwards. So yeah, they're quite good position there right now. And what do the Spartans have? Okay, in the center back here we have Pausanias himself. They do have 2 unnamed leaders here, all attached to these Spartan hoplite units here. We have 7 of them. This is quite impressive. Big line of hoplites. If those guys reach the enemy, I think it could be over pretty soon, because these guys are really a hard nut to crack for the Athenians. Then we have some slingers on the edges, but a bit back here. And then we have the Spartan first line, and there's some auxiliaries. We have some medium heavy cavalry there, and here we have an interesting one, some warriors in the center of their line. Otherwise it's medium cavalry again and an auxiliary, so it's a kind of a mirror here to the flanks. And I'm not sure who these guys are actually. I mean, warriors, it's not, I think we haven't seen that in the Greek lines before up to this battle, if I remember correctly. We have seen some of their opponents, the Persians, having some warrior units, but not these guys. So I don't really know who those guys are. So if everyone knows, please write a note. I'm very curious. Yeah, but otherwise that's it. So in numbers we are quite evenly matched, but in quality we have, I mean, the Spartans are of course better leaders. Both sides have 3 leaders, so we're evenly matched there. But it's the hoplites who count, I think. And this warrior unit is also really good. You know, they can also move to and battle. So if they battle, and they can momentum advance by themselves and all that stuff. So these could be a dangerous guys. And well, otherwise 2 cavalry units on both sides, but again the Spartans have the heavier one. They have medium cavalry, and Athenian exiles only light cavalry, who can of course skirmish. That's, well, they had that power, and they can always evade these mediums as well. Yeah, so I think by that we're ready to start the game, and it's Pausanian and his Spartans who start this game. So let's get it started. Okay, so we got the Spartans starting this. This is their initial hand. They have a rally card. They have 3 units right, and they have a coordinated attack, meaning they could advance in each sector with 1 unit. By the way, I didn't mention any battle plans yet, but let's take a short recap of the situation and think about some plans. Well, for the Spartans, I think it's quite simple. I think I want to clash with the first line with some lights against lights, and then at the same time try to bring up that force of hoplites, maybe even going around that mountain or over it maybe. I don't want to get stuck fighting in the mountains with the hoplites though, because that's where they will not be in their best up there. Preferably we would challenge the enemy hoplites with our hoplites, and that would be the plan. So maybe send some guys around that flank and some guys that flank. There's a choke point there though, where we could get stuck, but still we have 2 clear hexes to attack, so we can break through there if the Athenians try to stop us there. Yeah, basically that's it. And I can also mention that this medium cavalry I will certainly not use in the mountains. No reason to do that, so I will try to get them also to the flanks and try to scatter some lighter troops with those, probably. But the Auxilia and the warriors, I think I'll send them up to the hills to battle. Okay, for the Athenian exiles then, well, it's gonna be a bit of a wait and see situation for them. We're gonna stand our ground on the hills. That's the best place we could defend. I thought maybe even if the Spartans don't go up the hills, we could step forward with some auxiliaries and attack downwards here. Then we are in a better position than the enemy, and denying them from entering the hills. But since the Spartans go first, we probably will hold the line back there, and then get up those guys in support as soon as possible. That's a simple general plan. Okay, so that started then. Okay, the rallies, of course, makes no sense to play now, and 3 guys here. Well, that could be interesting, or do some probably skirmishing in each sector. That could be something too. I could also use this to get hold of those 3 hexes already. Or scare away some flank units here. Well, we also could check, if we play this card first, then follow up with that card. What could we do best then? Well, we could, for instance, get that cavalry in action and that auxiliary, and we could start attacking already now. And then, you mean we could attack those flank guys there already, and then I don't know if that makes sense though, because then we can kind of start moving guys from the back, or hoplites preferably. But these guys take so long to march, if we don't get any double times and such, it's four turns before we are 3 or 4 turns before we are up to the line there. So I don't know really. Maybe we should start the battle. The bad thing with that is, if we start a battle without having any leader with us, we are in a bad situation, because the Athenians got some leaders already up in the line. So maybe another thing would be to detach 2 of the leaders. We leave Pausanias with the hoplites, but we unattach that guy and go up. Could be interesting. I think that could be something actually. Yeah. So let's see. I think I'm gonna do that, and then when the hoplites reach up, the leaders are there already, and they can attach with someone else instead. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna play the coordinate to attack, and I will activate actually these leaders. I will do some preparations before I attack, but then we could also get a guy in the center activated. And I think I'll start with some cavalry harassment. So I will activate the medium cav there. So for movement, I think I'll just go. I think a leader can go through own units, can't he? He could go like 1, 2. He don't have to stop with a friendly unit. I need to check that up. I'm not actually sure. I don't know if I ever have done that before. I'll check that quickly in the rules and be right back. Yes, that's fine. You can move through own units. I was actually hoping to get attached with a warrior unit there, but he's too far away. I only have 3 in movement for the leaders. But anyway, I can attach with the auxilia there and with the auxilia there. That's what I'm gonna do. And then this cavalry will do a raid 1, 2, 3, and they will battle that slinger unit there. And I'm sure those guys want to invade, so they go back here. But we're still gonna roll 3 dice for the attack. I'm looking for greens. We don't get any greens there, so no casualties for the Athenians. It was a successful evade, but we got a gap in their line at least. I admit we are in the range of enemy skirmish fire here, but that's alright. So that was the first Spartan turn. Not much happening, but we were doing some preparations for the initial assault. I hope this could mean that the Athenians will march forward and take position at the edge of the hill, maybe even attack me already. That could happen, but so be it then. So here's the Athenian hand. They have 3 units right, they have a medium troops, and they have 2 units right. So right hand sector is their strong part now, and let's see. I could start moving up the hoplites, but I think I want to. But I think we cannot respond here now. Not in any way actually. So we are kind of left there to the fate of what the Spartans do. But we can start harassing on the other edge at least. So we have 3 units there, and that's exactly what we have in that sector. So we're gonna activate them all. I think I'll stay put with those guys. I will not be much forward, because if I march forward here, I want to do it with my auxiliaries who can battle a bit better. So we're gonna harass that auxiliary with the leader now. So we go there. So these guys have moved, so they will only have 1 die, and then we start the skirmish party. And here we have some lights firing down on that unit. It's 2 dice. We're looking for greens, by the way. Yeah, 1 green. So we got a hit on those auxiliaries. This is really important actually. And we're also gonna check the leader fate. By the way, they got a flag, but they are supported and they have that leader with them, so I think he will ignore it. But we're gonna see if the leader is okay. He's okay. That was the first skirmish fire. Quite effective. Javelin throwers there. And then we got some really harassing stones coming in from front left of the Spartan unit. And another flag. He will ignore that. And then we have these light cavalry starting to swarm here on the flank. throwing the javelins, but it will be a 1 die attack since those guys did move. No hit there. Okay, but I'm happy. 1 hit and quite okay skirmish from the Athenian exiled units there. Okay. So we're back to the Spartans. Okay, they got a heavy troop now. We got the rally. Of course we could rally there now, but I don't want to waste that yet. We could continue here now, doing some funny stuff, or we just activate 1 unit with that card. That's a bad card to have in your hand. Maybe we should get rid of it already, so we don't need to be playing that in some panic later. So okay, so if we play that, what could we do? We could attack with the cavalry again. Yeah, I guess we could scare away his cavalry perhaps. Those will of course evade, that's for sure, but those guys have no what is called support anymore, so we could get those to retreat from that hill. That would be also nice. So we could, another thing we could do, we could play this, activate those auxiliaries and either go into hand-to-hand combat or actually throw some javelins from here first to scare them off. Or we attack here against that cavalry. Which is more important right now? I think both are really important. I want both to be done actually. It would be really nice to have those abandoning the flank, but also having those so they cannot ride to my rear anyway. So if I get them evading 2 hexes back, they cannot reach that long into, at least not through my lines. So I will roll for it. So it's 1 to 3, I will activate those guys and they will probably throw some javelins then. Or 4 to 6, we get that medium cavalry moving. It's the cavalry option. So we play the heavy troops, we're gonna get rid of that silly card and we just go 1 hex forward and attack. And these guys evade, but we got our 3 dice though. But we were unlucky, no hits against those evading cavalry, so that's it. So the Athenians get another chance to react here. It's again a card on the right hand side. They can really not respond here, and that could be dangerous now because we could get around that flank as the Spartans, but we could put on more pressure here of course. So we could continue with the skirmishing, and I think I'm gonna do that. So let's pick our javelin throwers again. They throwed so good last time, and then when these guys now are stationary, we can put in some more javelins there. So let's start with the javelin throwers from the hill. It's 2 dice. And nothing this time. Let's see if the horse performs better. And they did. Another hit on these auxiliaries, and this is actually, well, not good at all. We also need to check the fate of the leader. He's fine, but now some javelins start coming near him. So, well, some panic in that rank, those ranks, I'm sure about that. And, well, for a skirmish round, I'm pretty happy. Grab them a card, put that back, and Spartans. Should we already play this card? I don't want to do that really. Now I could actually respond here with 3. Maybe I should bring those guys back, or I even detach that leader and go to the warrior unit there. I kind of want to do that. So yeah, let's do it. I will play 3 here now. I'll play the leader alone. I will get some slingers into action, and let's also throw some javelins from here. I'm gonna do that. So the leader now rides to the warriors. These guys throw some javelins, no, sorry, stones against those horses. Maybe the horses get nervous of incoming stones. No, they didn't care a bit. And well, let's see if some javelins could bite. Well, 1 hit and a flag. That's good, because now they need to go 4, oh, there's the flag, 4 hexes backwards, and that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Good performance from those decimated javelin throwers there. Like that. Let's see how the Athenians respond to this. Ah, mounted charge. This means we also could get our hoplites moving. We actually have 2 good cards to get the hoplites moving actually. And we have 2 on the right again. We could even more throw in some skirmishing here. I'm kind of tempted doing that as well. Yeah. The thing is, with this mounted charge, we could order all our hoplites and also our cavalry. That's pretty good. But I'll wait one turn more. I'm gonna play these to continue the skirmishing. So I will activate again javelin throwers and slingers there. We start with javelins, 2 dice against that auxiliary unit. And we got yet another hit. This is now really critical, because now we also have some incoming stones, and 1 more hit and he's dead. We didn't get it. We got a flag this time, and I think he's gonna take that flag now. He wanna get out of the way of the missiles, and he can take that 1 step back, because yeah, this was free hex there, and well, really scared those guys away with heavy losses. Bit tricky for what to do with the Spartans here right now. And I think actually I will do a bit shorter session this time, so I will cut the session here, just grab a new card for the Athenians, and I think I'll load this video up and get back with part 2. So what have we seen? We have seen Spartan aggression on this side. We have seen some reorganization, some leaders marching up to the front units, but you can see the front line is getting thin here. But we have seen Spartan cavalry ruling this side of the board, scaring away any opposition there, holding that gap in Spartan hands. So if you could get some cards to march up some heavier troops through that pass, that would be nice. On this side, the Athenians have been more active. They have thrown pretty much everything, stones and javelins and the kitchen sink and whatnot. And these guys had taken the heavy hit of that, and even the leader got enough and relocated to another unit here. So here we are. So let's see what next session brings. I think we need to get these heavier troops up to break that line. So thank you for watching, and I hope you will be back for part 2. Bye for now.